first asphalt event of the season lit up the concrete-covered roads of Croatia last weekend, and, as expected, rally fans were treated to a 20-course banquet of the best rally action around. Set against a beautiful Balkan backdrop, the speeds were high, aggression levels dialed to the max, and drivers pushing themselves and their cars to the limit. This one will live long in the memory, so let's look back on some of Rally Croatia's most incredible moments. Calais comes unstuck. After a couple of strong performances, Calais came into Croatia with the wind in his sails. At just 20 years old, he became the youngest driver ever to lead the World Rally Championship. On Friday's opening stage, Calais set off looking determined to build on his strong start to the season. However, on a slippery downhill section, disaster struck the young Finn. Dropping off the racing line, he drifted wide and his Yaris plunged off the road, down a bank and into the trees. Fortunately, he and his co-driver were unhurt, but his early title push, like his car, suffered a serious dent. The Yaris too damaged to continue. The challenges of Croatia. If there's one word that drivers used to express their thoughts on Croatia, it was
tricky, very tricky, tricky morning.
A new rally on the calendar, teams had to make completely new pace notes, and as if that didn't make things tough enough, the stages themselves were consistently unpredictable. Grip was constantly an issue, a fine layer of dirt coating corners, meaning everyone struggled with traction and confidence. Some fared worse than others. Plus, there were even a couple of finish-style crests thrown in for good measure, made all the tougher with the cars in full tarmac spec. Combine all of that with the tight, twisting technical roads, it added up to a grueling weekend, brimming with excitement. Formo's fantastic debut. The French have a habit of churning out a stream of talented rally drivers, and judging by his performance in Croatia, Adrian Formeau looks to be the latest to step off the production line. It was his top flight debut, and he looked to be loving the power of his WRC class Fiesta. Importantly though, he wasn't just enjoying himself, he was excelling, setting the second fastest stage time twice and coming close to the limit while doing so. Formeau will have learned a lot from the experience, which he'll no doubt draw on the next time he sits in a WRC car. And judging by this performance, he won't have to wait long. He ended up with a fantastic 5th place finish, an incredible introduction. Evans' last corner. The Welshman was locked in a mesmerising battle with Sébastien Ogier and Thierry Neuville from the get-go. And while the former traded leads through Friday and Saturday, it was Evans who rolled into Sunday's final stage holding a slender advantage, which gave us the ultimate showdown. Ogier had already completed a spectacular power stage run, which meant that Evans could not afford to make any mistakes. As the split times rolled in, it was getting closer and closer, but victory was still in Evans' grasp. It looked like the Welshman was poised to take his first win of the season by a fraction of a second, until drama. Running wide at the final corner, and precious tenths were dropped in the process. The Croatian crown slipped away. Ogier, simply supreme. Sébastien Ogier had a rally he's not likely to forget for a long time. The reigning champion was close to dropping it in the same place Rovanperä did on Friday, but he got away with just a puncture. He then put in a fantastic performance to grab hold of a commanding position the next day. By the end of Saturday, though, another puncture had narrowed that advantage, setting up a monster final day between himself, Evans and Neuville. Incredibly, Seb suffered a road crash that damaged the side of his Toyota, and though it was patched up, Julian Ingrassia had to pull out all the stops and get creative with his eyewear. Despite this, Ogier kept himself in contention. It all came down to the power stage, and despite almost losing control over a jump, he managed to cling on to claim victory, winning Rally Croatia by the tightest of margins, a mere 0.6 of a second.